Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. We are fully in Black Friday preparation mode right now on FC26, and with the promo only being 3 days away, with the first parts of the promo dropping tomorrow, I want to make sure we cover everything about Black Friday, the basics of the promo to some of the more finite details of how the content will be dropping on this game and how the market will move as a part of that. I want to make sure that we can maybe make some timely purchases for our teams during this promo, but also make some investments on cards that will undoubtedly rise in price because of different things. Now, whether you've been grinding FC26 a lot recently or whether you've taken a break from the game and you're coming back because you know this promo has promised to bring good content, I want to make sure that we're all prepared for that in this video today. We're going to be looking ahead a couple days, but we'll also look at today's content as well on Tuesday. Maybe EA will sprinkle in the first Black Friday content. We'll talk about it, guys. If you're excited for Black Friday, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you're new. Now, before we get into all that, quickly, yesterday's Monday content brought us some interesting market movements and not really a lot of content other than that. But of course, the first FC Pro Live match day was happening with Group A, going on with those live games, with those pro cards moving a lot in price, and of course the first viewership rewards. So if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you can of course claim those here in game. And 82x5 was the pack, Dan James loan. Today on Tuesday, the second match day, Group B is going to be playing an 83x5 and the Klosterman loan, which of course would allow you to complete the full objective and get the 84x3 is all up for grabs today. Now, yesterday, of course, in Objectives 2, we had the new Gauntlet released, Ultimate Gauntlet 5, which of course gives us the rewards that we had known for a few days, including this Podolski Power Shot Plus 86 rated card, full of vibes there. You got a whole week to get the Gauntlet games done, and it's basically unlimited matches. I mean, it's not technically unlimited, but it is a lot of games. It's like 40-something games, I think, because it's 3 rounds each time, and you have 14 different attempts to get involved. So it's not unlimited. I take that back, but it is a lot of games. Now, some of the rewards in here that make Gauntlets still, in my opinion, the best game mode in this game is the Bruiser Plus Evolution. Some of the packs you get, a Center Mid DLP++ Evo, and an 83x10 and 85-89 pack, and a group reward of Podolski. That's just for playing and scoring in games. You don't even have to win a single match to get that Podolski and all those rewards. There's the bonus objective as well that gives some better packs, like an 81-3 and 85-87, 85-89, another 85-87, and a second 83 x 10. So those are very nice packs to be saving up for Black Friday. And again, I enjoy Gauntlet. I know not everybody does. There's a lot of different gameplay out right now. There's a lot of different modes that if we feel kind of required to play. We were talking about that a little bit on the stream yesterday, and kind of how it's a bit overwhelming. There's so many modes to play, but also we like that because that brings variety to gameplay in certain ways. I still feel like Gauntlet is the most fun mode in this game with the 3 different squads, and that is a fun one to grind through in the next week to get some of those rewards. Because think about it, we're going to be opening a lot of packs during Black Friday, and all those objective rewards there, even if it does require a little bit of gameplay, are going to become important because we're going to be needing all the fodder that we can possibly get a couple days from now. Now, yesterday's content and SBCs continued with the Oliver Prufsgaard SBC. This is actually a former FIFA pro turned footballer. I think it was like FIFA 21 or FIFA 22. He was playing in the pro events, in the FIFA series events, and he won some tournaments, I guess, or was doing pretty well. And now he plays for Lazio. So he has a nice card here that EA, I think, dropped because of this being the FC Pro Live promo. It's got some decent play styles, very evolvable for the future, and he's only 18,000 coins to get done. But of course, not that crazy of an SBC for most people. Also, yesterday we had the 80+ times too. We were hoping they'd drop player picks, but notice that this SBC goes away in only 3 days, which would maybe mean that player picks will be dropping this weekend for Black Friday, which is exactly what happened last year. And that's what we're going to do a lot in today's video as well, guys, is look back at the previous years of Black Friday and note how things happen. Not that they're going to happen the exact same way this year and this time around, but maybe similarly. So yesterday to cover, though, the last thing we have here is the crazy market movements from the FC Pro Live games yesterday. Darwin Nunez, the card in game that is represented by Anders Vergang, was 250,000 coins yesterday when the game started. He's now 170k, and Anders won all of his games yesterday. He won 5 of his 5 games and got 15 points. He got all the possible upgrades that he could have gotten. This Darwin Nunez is due a +1 skill move or weak foot and a +1 overall. Yet his card dropped from 250k down to 150. He dropped 100,000 coins and now is back up 20,000 coins. Guys, this must drive home the point. Sell in the hype. These cards were very invested in as people hoped that Anders and other pros would claim the upgrades, and they have. But now, since those games are over, the hype's kind of over for these cards. This Darwin doesn't have a chance to get upgraded anymore after the first ones that he's just obtained. No more upgrades for this card until January. And sure, he could get some really good upgrades, and there's going to be a time and a place again in the future to invest in this card. But with that being the case, and everybody investing in the few days before this, the prices absolutely crashed. Guys, make sure you sell in the hype. I mean, take a look at Olivier Giroud. He's the only card that's not getting any upgrades from yesterday's pro matches. Here's actually an insight to the Group A final standings. Again, 3 points gave you the skill move weak foot upgrade. 10 points gave you the +1 overall. So we're getting 2 cards getting +1 overalls, the double boost. That is from Yaskow, who I think is the League 2 center back that's in packs for FC Pro, and then Darwin Nunez, and then the rest of the players' pro cards like Dan James, Nuno Tavares, and Cognat, they're just getting a +1 skill move or the weak foot. But even with the prices of these Group A cards like Darwin and Giroud going down, Group B cards like Xerxes, he's only 47,000 coins right now. Chiesa is 124,000 coins. The rest of these pro live cards started crashing in price yesterday because of how the Group A cards moved and because of Black Friday coming very soon. So these cards could rise a little bit into the hype today. Again, Group B is playing. Hopefully some of those cards can rise back up. Like Elsha was 230. He went all the way to 260. He's back down to 230k again. That's a bit more of an expensive card, but even for a Xerxes, maybe he goes back up to like 50 to 55k today. But still, I would tell you guys to sell in the hype and then watch and see what happens during the games. If you want to risk it, you can trade with these cards. They may move a little bit depending on a pro scoring a goal or conceding a goal. But other than that, it feels risky to trade with these FC Pro Live cards at the moment based on how they moved yesterday. So the safest thing to do with those is to not have them, in my opinion. But of course, you know, there's been some profit already in those, and a lot of people want to invest in live cards. So you're playing with fire a little bit, especially right before Black Friday, holding on to those cards super long. Now, let's get right into it, guys. We've talked enough about content. Let's talk about content that is upcoming and the promo that is Black Friday, or Thunderstruck, as it's been called the last 2 years. That's been our Black Friday marquee promo. We've started talking about the leaks in the last couple of days of what we're expecting to see, things like Best of Team of the Week, other special cards re-released in packs, even the icons that we talked about yesterday from the beginning of the year getting upgraded and then put back into packs. But I want to lay this out real simple. Maybe this is your first Black Friday. You've never played the Ultimate Team during this time of the year before, or just a refresher, which is good for all of us, especially if you've not been on the game for a couple of weeks. We got to just talk about what Black Friday is to start. This is historically one of the most marquee promos that we get every single year with some of the biggest content. We have huge upgrades to cards. We've got flash SBCs and content that just goes way above and beyond the normal daily content that we get in this game. But you think about Black Friday, right? You think about like deals. You think about 50% off at stores and stuff like that, shopping, right? That doesn't really happen in this game because EA do release a lot of big packs in the store, but it's not like they make them half price or anything like that. A lot of times what they do is they just give you like these plus packs that EA dropped this last week in the game, where if you open a pack, you get like an extra guaranteed pack inside of it, which is not really a good deal. So that's kind of the odd thing that's funny about this whole thing. It's kind of a pack selling promo, honestly, is what it is. And the content's super dope. But we benefit from content being pretty good, right? And the main promo that is a part of Black Friday as a whole is Thunderstruck. And of course, in the last couple of years, we've had Thunderstruck regular cards and Thunderstruck icons, and that is continuing again this year, and they are live items. Now, we don't exactly know how these cards are going to upgrade, but based on the leaks that we've seen so far, they are once again putting in some very big name players from big clubs, which are going to be live and upgrading cards once again. Remember that. And the first promo icons of the year in packs. Maradona, Maldini, Eusebio, Bale, Ribéry, Beckenbauer. A few more names have been leaked in the last day since we have looked at the leaks. Schellin, Bergkamp, Prinz, Schweinsteiger, Roberto Carlos, Beckham is getting a card as well. This is a huge icon team of special players here. Like, that's a lot of icons that are getting released in packs with this Thunderstruck promo, and once again they are live. Now, some of the other regular players we have here, non-icons, we have Putellas, Rodri, Gravenberch, Pedro Neto, Timber, Aubameyang, Dumornay, Theo Hernandez, Jude Bellingham, and Musiala. We've already looked at a few of these cards, but some of these names are new, like the Dumornay, like the Theo Hernandez, which actually we do have official stats for a few of these cards. Theo Hernandez does get the Bruiser Plus. He is going to be now the best left back in the game. We're going to see this guy everywhere, especially with all the pros wanting to use either Intercept or Bruiser on their defenders as a playstyle plus. That's pretty crazy. Now, if you did the Evo for Teo and you either put Intercept on his card or whatever other playstyle you've got, especially if you did Intercept, you got a really close card to this. Not quite as good in terms of the stats, but still a very, very good card, and it just looks like Teo is going to be back. Also, Pedro Neto, remember his card he had last year as an SBC? Finesse plus for him, +8 overall. That card is going to be incredible in game. He is always super good. And then Jurrien Timber, Arsenal fans, this might be a really solid center back because he can play center back, I believe, as an alternate position. Jockey plus for him, it'll come down to the base play styles that he has. And again, I said it multiple times, but remember, all of these cards, the icons and the regular players, are live. So that's the first biggest part of this promo, is there's going to be crazy cards and packs that we will all be chasing. These cards will also be incredible to trade with, guys. You know how we like to trade with the new promo cards that come out on a brand new promo Friday? These cards are going to be just that and more. They're going to be insane to buy on Black Friday. So we'll be watching their prices very close, of course, because since they're live cards, some of them will be playing games the next day on that Saturday and in the next 2 days on that Sunday of this weekend that could potentially upgrade their card stats and make their card prices move. So they will be great for that and for some other factors that we'll talk about later on. But let's keep it moving. Why is Black Friday hyped, right? We've also got a best of re-release. There's going to be so many cards and packs. It's going to be crazy. We've talked about this before, but again, just to make it clear and simple, Foot Police confirmed that the best of Team of the Week is coming again this year. He said over 60 Team of the Week players included, and that does not include Team of the Week 12 or 11, whatever week we're on. The next Team of the Week that will drop tomorrow, it's that Team of the Week plus 60 Team of the Week players all added into packs at the same time. He said most of the Team of the Weeks over 30K are included. Salah, Putellas, Haaland, Vinny Jr., Reinders, Messi, Militao, Alvaro Carreras, and Marcus Llorente are confirmed to be in through this post that he has made here. So that means they're going to get packed, and that means their prices are going to drop. That's the big thing that we always have to be careful with. If you have any of these Team of the Weeks in your team, there's still time to get out before they drop and before they really go down in price. Like this Mohamed Salah is still 600,000 coins. His inform was in packs last year during the FC25 Best of Team of the Week. This card right there, that 90 rated Mohamed Salah. And if you take a look at how his price moved, he started off before that at 600,000 coins, which is actually where this Salah is right now. On in-game, 92 rated Salah in FC26. This 90 rated Salah, because he got re-released back in packs on that Wednesday, went from, he was already dropping, people knew it might be getting re-released. He went from 600K down to 500K, down to 398,000 coins as a low point. So he almost dropped in half in a matter of basically a week because he was re-released in packs. So Salah, Putellas, all these informs that are going to get re-released are definitely going to drop in price. And at the same time, we're hoping to have a best of campaigns, which also brings more special cards into packs. It's going to be probably the biggest, no, not probably, it will be the biggest set of cards that we have in packs at one time so far this year. And this will be promos from earlier in the year, like we've seen the Festival of Football promo cards, like going through here, Cornerstones, captains that we just had a couple of weeks ago, ratings reload cards, the UCL prime times could be involved in this, Scream cards could be involved in this, as well as the best of re-release. So those cards are going to get re-released as well, and the same thing is going to happen. If they do get re-released, they're going to drop a whole bunch in price. Now the question is, what cards are going to get re-released? When you look back at last year's best of campaign, there was a whole mix of players from recent promos to like some of the earlier promos in the year. Remember that Total Rush promo was one of the first ones we had last year in FC 25. Well, this year, again, you think about captains, as we mentioned, you think about promos all the way back to cornerstones and ratings reload, but sometimes EA give away in-game what players they're going to be re-releasing in packs. And yesterday we noticed that there were some specific cards getting price range updates. And if you've been around long enough, you may remember me talking about this when we have re-releases in the past. EA has updated the price ranges of the cards that they are going to put back in packs to prepare them to be on the market and to get packed a lot more. So some of the Festival of Football Captains cards that got price range updates yesterday were Mbappe, Payeur, Donnarumma. You've got heaps there, Hegerberg, Bernardo Silva, Odegaard, and then you've got a bunch of lower rated ones down here, like the more fodder cards, right? Stanshu, Mbach, Vigo Stotter. Then you look through some of the other promo cards that could be potentially released too. Like let's go to like prime times, right? Let's go squads. You prime time squad here. Who got a price range update? Saliba. He was the only one. I'm noticing over here that it was prices updated yesterday on the 24th. Let's do one more. Let's look at Ultimate Scream cards. I'm just searching by promo team here because I think it's the easiest. Let's go Ultimate Scream 2. Who do we have? We have Ousmane Dembele, Christian Pulisic, Felix, Weah, and that's it. So those 4 cards got price range updates yesterday. Why are they getting the updates, but like nothing else is, you know? And that's just something that we've seen before that is kind of given us some insight into what cards are going to get re-released. There was a lot of captain's cards that had price range updates there, so I don't know if it's going to be all of those. But what I would tell you is right now, it is very risky to hold any of these cards, even if they're dropping a lot. Like Harry Kane, I lost some coins on him, like we talked about yesterday, right? But he could get re-released in packs. Looks like his inform is going to be in best of, but this card could be in packs at the same time too. You don't want to be on the wrong end of that because card prices could drop. Now, the flip side to this, Mbappe was one of the cards, right? This Mbappe had his price range updated. Could he be in best of team of the week and best of campaign? It's possible he could be in that best of campaign re-release. And in that case, there is an investment opportunity with the gold cards that go out of packs for the very meta players. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I think the buy time might be a little sooner than you think. Take a look at Gold Mbappe last year, who had a special card that was in packs during Thunderstruck, right? So his gold card was out of packs. His lowest point was kind of where we are right now. Monday, Tuesday, back to Sunday as well of the week before Black Friday, the week of Black Friday, really. He was 2.2, 2.1 million coins and went up after Black Friday because people opened packs, they got coins, and they went out and they bought the cards they wanted to buy. And Kylian Mbappe Gold is still absolutely a card that everybody wants to get at this stage of the game. He went from 2 mil up to 2.5 mil, right? Take a look at even a player like Mohamed Salah, who we just talked about was in the best of team of the week, so his gold card was out of packs. Heading into Black Friday, he dropped. He went all the way down to 92K. He didn't rise up as much, but he went back to 110,000 coins and even 120K the weekend after Black Friday. So right now, what I would say is if there's a player like Mbappe, like Ousmane Dembele, like Vinicius Jr., those are some of the big name players, Alexia Putellas as well. I would be watching their price very carefully on the market today, tomorrow, because this might be the window before most people think to buy these cards. It might be the window to actually go ahead and try to buy one of them. I would say this is a for your team investment. This is not necessarily trying to make a whole bunch of coins. This is the best investment for if you're trying to put a card like this in your team. Ousmane Dembele 3 days ago was 700K. Like, yeah, we are still in the Black Friday market crash right now, as we talked about. Prices are dropping, but this guy's maybe going to go out of packs if his Ultimate Scream card comes in. That was one of the cards that had a price range update, right? And is EA not going to release a card like this back in packs for this promo when they're trying to sell so many packs? I think they're going to, right? So this is a card I would be watching. Vinny Jr. feels a bit more safe because he's already leaked to be in best of team of the week. Alexia Putellas feels a bit more safe too because she's already leaked to be in best of team of the week. So I think those top tier cards could be investable. For a card like Reinders, maybe Reinders is very, very hype, but at the same time, a card like that is going to get passed up with the promo power curve moving forward because we're going to have so many cards released through Evos, through SBCs, and all the different ways that are maybe going to surpass a player like that Reinders, even though he is one of the most hyped cards this year, and especially on a lower budget. So he could still do well, though, out of packs, but I would expect that card to maybe not rise as much, kind of like we saw with Salah, right? Mbappe in 25 went up a lot. It went up 500K, but Salah only went up like 15 to 20,000 coins. Maybe a card like Reinders goes from like 30K to 40K, but that's about it. Now, you see this Chiesa here. This is another example of a point that I want to make. Chiesa was an out-of-packs card that got panic sold because people were afraid he was going to get re-released in the best of last year for Black Friday. He didn't get re-released. But what happened is this card is still a very meta and usable card that people wanted to use last year, even after Black Friday happened. So what happened? His card went up. He went from 620,000 coins all the way to 800K in 2 weeks' time. That's a pretty crazy rise. And that's where there still is an opportunity to look at players from like Festival Football Captains, to look at some of these primetime cards, the ones that do not get re-released in packs for this best of re-release. They have a potential to still drop in the next day or two. But after Friday, when everybody opens all their packs, all the content starts coming out, these cards have potential to rise up still if they've come down in price a good bit. So you think about captain's cards. Let's use Kane as the example once again. He was 700,000 coins. Is that card really worth 700K? I don't know if it is, but he's down to 500. Maybe he could go from 500 to 650 or 600K if he does not get re-released, as that is probably going to be the best Harry Kane card that we have in the game, unless, again, there's a new one that comes out or this one gets re-released in packs. But for those cards, I wouldn't want to invest yet. I would want to wait until we see who the best of re-release is, or at least get a little bit closer before trying to make an investment like that, because that just seems a little bit more risky. And I do believe we will get some leaks on what is going to be re-released, but we don't have it yet. So just keep watching out for that. Now, let's talk about SBCs, right? Let's keep rolling through why Black Friday is as good as it is, and it's because of the SBCs, guys. Sure, the Evos last year cooked too, and we're going to talk about that, but SBCs are dropping almost every single hour. Content doesn't start at 6 p.m. UK this Friday. It's going to start at 9 a.m., right? No, it's going to start at 2 p.m. UK, 9 a.m. Eastern. It's like 9 a.m. my time instead of 1 p.m. So whatever content drop time you're normally looking at, move it forward like 4 or 5 hours. That's when we might see the Thunderstruck cards come into packs. That's when we might see the first SBCs get released, and we're still awaiting some leaks on what we're going to see this year as well. We do have a couple of leaks, which we could talk about in a second, but just look back at last year's Black Friday SBCs. We had an 80+ player pick. We had the first Flash Challenge. Soon after that, a second Flash Challenge. We had the On This Day Icon Cruyff SBC, still got to be one of my favorite SBCs from last year on the game. This was iconic. He was overpriced too, people say, but he was so good. Like, when do you have the chance to use a Cruyff with Tiki Taka Plus? Can you imagine that card in this year's game? It'd be insane. But look at these other SBCs, an 84+ player pick, an 85+ combo upgrade. You've got more Flash SBCs dropping throughout the day. We're going to have so many SBCs, it's going to be hard to find them all. That's why the new sort by recent SBC function is going to be so nice to have. You just click L3 on your SBCs and it shows you what's new. That is going to be game changing this weekend with all the SBCs you're going to be released, especially with the Flash ones. Remember that for this weekend. But guys, Flash SBCs aren't always packs. They're also players. This flashback Edison Cavani was only available for 1 day last year. It was 21,000 coins. It was an insane card. People ended up evolving him. So just watch out for that when it comes to these SBCs. I said right now we don't have a ton of leaks, and we don't. All we do have is that we're going to get some of the daily upgrades back and then ×10 upgrade packs. We may see the first upgrade pack for Black Friday later today, and I'll talk about that in a second. But of course, we do have one big leak, and that is the player pick between Dina Talley and Eden Hazard. I still think this is crazy that EA is releasing this player pick between these two heroes, some of the most expensive heroes in the game. Of course, their prices on the market have dropped off a lot, and we're awaiting this player pick's release, but that's the type of quality we expect. The content, we already mentioned it, but the content is going to take a level up. EA said this is going to be a promo that the content will take a step up in terms of the power curve, the stats, and the players. the SBC players, hopefully, and the Evos as well. Now, since we're talking about SBCs, we have one more here to talk about, and then we got to look at fodder. We're going to have the first player pick party bag of the year, which will contain Scream cards, ratings reloads, and UEFA Prime Times. So that's another cool thing, right? We right now have had 84 plus packs for the campaign mix and 85 plus packs of the campaign mix. We're going to get our first player pick on that as well. Now, speaking of SBCs, that hazard, right? Those other things that are leaked. Should we be investing in fodder? You watch fodder right now, it's not really going up. And I think that's because people are remembering what happened last year with fodder on Black Friday. We were doing some research yesterday on the stream, looking up some cards from last year in FC25 to really note how fodder moved. And guys, fodder did not go up until after Black Friday released. And the reason why is everybody is waiting to open their packs on Friday to then go and do the SBCs. That's when people have the coins and the fodder to go and do whatever SBCs are out at that time, which there's going to be a lot, right? There's going to be some big players, maybe the hazard, the Italian player pick. The best time, in my opinion, to buy a fodder, especially if it's 85 rated and above, is going to be during the massive pack spam after 6 p.m. content on Friday for Black Friday. Now, we're going to talk about that a lot as we get into that date, but right now, a lot of people want to invest in fodder, and I'm saying, guys, I don't think it's a smart move. All it's doing right now is going down. Again, the only fodder that I feel maybe is worth investing in would be 83s and 84s, and even then, those have not showed good signs of moving quite yet. It would take an SBC today or tomorrow that we would want to like doing a pack SBC and save it for Black Friday to really make those sort of cards start to go up. So right now, I'm kind of saying fodder right now, we're waiting until Friday, especially on Team of the Weeks, guys. We're getting 60 plus Team of the Weeks re-released. Do you really want to invest in Team of the Weeks when they're going to get packed like every other pack almost this weekend? No, you don't. Even with some SBCs that may require them, I don't think you want to invest in those right yet. We may change our opinion on that later on this weekend, but for right now, not yet. Now, let's talk about Evos, because last year on Black Friday, Evos went insane, and especially Flash evolutions. Yes, these were Evos that were out for 7 days. They were called Flash Evos, so they weren't that short, but they were so good. The Sentinel, Artist, and Hunter were just the first of the 3, I believe, that we had for evolutions. They were a crazy hit. They were insane. We're expecting big Evos again with bigger stat boost and allowing us to put in higher overall cards. That's been one of the leaks that's been out there, and I think we're going to get some Evo leaks today, guys. The leakers are on the edge of their seat, ready to tell all about what these Evos are going to look like. Max 85 rated evolutions are coming soon, says this guy here. I think there's going to be some news on that, and if there is, you're going to see some player prices move. As we talked about earlier in the week, stocking your club on some of those 85 rated players that maybe fit an Evo. One name that we shouted out back then a couple days ago was Conte. I don't know where Conte is right now. I don't even know if he's close to fitting an Evo, but that's the type of player that he could fit an evolution, and he could become a really, really insane card, especially with Teo being a lot more popular. That's a great link to Teo, the Benzema card. So many other 85 rated special cards we've had so far this year would be prime for evolutions. I would imagine there's going to be some leaks to those soon. And then this tweet was really interesting to me. This guy is usually not a leaker, but he's kind of putting out all these numbers here. He says soon eyes emoji, 10, 11, 12, 13, all the way up to 24. This, for some reason, just makes me think about the old card designs. Remember what EA did last year is they dropped the old card designs. Like, I remember they did it during Foot Birthday, right? They did evolutions for the old designs that we had in Ultimate Team for the previous years of the promos. Maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe that's what that means. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's some sort of like SBC release list. Like, dare I say the words foot miss. Back then we had a day of the month, and every day there was like SBCs released based on maybe what player wore the kit number of the day that it was. So I don't know exactly what this tweet is in relation to, but I feel like cosmetic evos would be something that could happen during this promo as well. And the last thing, because this video is going to end up being super long because there's so much to talk about, is we're getting a new season pass. And there's been some evolutions like Low Driven Plus, and I think Jockey Plus and a couple of other evolutions have already been leaked for what would probably be in the new season pass. But once again, this would be dropping on Thursday, the day before Black Friday, and there's going to be a whole bunch of cards probably leaked starting today. There's going to be more Evos, there's going to be more cosmetics, and of course packs that'll be in the season pass. All I ask is that, man, can we have a season pass that actually feels somewhat worth it, please? I saved 1,000 of my pre-order FC points for this season pass. It's been sitting there now for 4 weeks since the beginning of November when we got that third installment of the 2,000 points, waiting to see what this pass is like. Don't make me feel like EA that my saving my points and not opening them on a store pack to try to get myself at a sick pull or do an Evo for free instead of using coins. Don't make me feel like it was a waste saving those points. But also on Thursday with the new season, the pre-order icons are going to upgrade as well. So if you guys have one of those are going to be upgrading. And how could I forget to mention this again? These cards being upgraded are going to be in packs on Saturday, the 29th, not on Friday, but on Saturday, these icons will be released. Now, I think that's enough information on Black Friday and what it is. Hopefully that helps out. I know we kind of covered some of that stuff in the days before this, but especially if this is you coming back to FC26 before Black Friday after not playing for a while, I think it's a good catch up, and especially some of the in-depth detail we talked about there with the market. I think that's going to help a lot of you guys, and we're going to be talking about the market a lot in the next couple days. So if you want to stop by the stream, we'll be live today, we'll be live tomorrow, we'll be live on Friday, of course. Make sure you stop by and say what's up, ask the questions about the market. We'll be talking a lot about those things. Now, today on Tuesday, we actually have some content to discuss. Like I mentioned, maybe, just maybe, I feel like it's a very small chance, but I think the chance is there. We could have the first SBC of Black Friday Thunderstruck released. EA don't like to overlap promos often. I know we're still in FC Pro Live, but last year, we had the 82 times 14 SBC that was released. Now, last year, this was released on Thursday, the day before Black Friday, but Tuesdays this year has been our upgrade pack day. Think about it. We've got the 84 times 2 that is expiring today. We've had the 83 by 3. We've had the 80 plus times 5. All those on Tuesdays. Why not, EA? Just release this today. Give us the chance to stack a couple more packs for Black Friday. I don't know if there's an 82 by 14 in the code or an 82 by 10 or an 83 by 10, but this was one of the best SBCs last year of the promo. It required an 83 rated squad and an inform. Guys. And remember what we just talked about. Informs last year, we looked at this on the stream yesterday too. Informs last year, because best of team of the week, even with this being repeatable every day a couple of times, they did not rise. They were minimum price, 11,000 coins. 86 rated informs even were minimum price, 11,000 coins. So I wouldn't invest in informs for that. Maybe 83s and 84s and informs would move if it was released today. But if it's released on Thursday after best of team of the week, I do not believe they're going to go up. I think there's a slight chance of this today. More so, what there is a greater chance of is another 84 times 2 pack or some sort of other upgrade pack like this just simply being released, and then they wait for the big upgrade on Thursday. But I just wanted to shout that out because I think that's possible. Here's the proof, by the way, of the informs last year not doing an 83 rated inform, right? You see, heading into Black Friday, he's up to 13K. People are investing. It's going to be good, right? They're going to go up. Weren't. Back down to 10,000, 11,000 coins. Now, informs did rise very good. We're going to look for a crash on informs in the next week or two and into early December, and we will start buying those informs because that will be a great investment. But for right now, nope. Let them drop, and then we'll be packing them, so that'll be super nice, and it won't be super hard to do those SBCs that require the informs. Hopefully. We'll see if it changes this year, but for now, that's kind of what we're going in to Black Friday with, is the expectation. Let's talk about Evos, because we might have an Evo today on Tuesday before Black Friday drops as well. It seems to be a goalkeeper evolution. There's a leak for a max 83 goalkeeper Evo that gives a playstyle plus, and that would be pretty nice because I don't think we've had more than one goalkeeper Evo that's given a playstyle plus. Maybe we've had one, but this one hopefully is good. It depends on what the playstyle plus is. If it's footwork or if it's far reach, then it could actually be a very intriguing Evo. Other goalkeepers that would fit this, like Chevalier and Joan Garcia from Barcelona, are already starting to go up on the market. People have invested in this. Check out your Evo chains, because this could be a really, really fun one for those goalkeeper Evos. And the last thing that we got to talk about today is there's Champions League today. And this is the first Champions League games that we've had since the primetime cards have been in packs. Now, we've seen some of the Women's Champions League cards and hero cards move, but some of these and all of these men's Champions League players, they have not played any games yet. So I'm watching these cards very carefully. I know that some of them could get re-released back into packs, but of course today there's going to be favorites. There's going to be upgrades that are being played for. Again, look at the additional information on each and every one of these cards. It'll tell you, like, if Holland appears and Manchester City win today, because Man City are playing today, I believe, and they are playing against the Leverkusen. They're playing against Leverkusen. They are favorites. They are big-time favorites. if Haaland appears, they win, and he scores, then he could technically get 2 upgrades. But for most of these cards, you're looking for the appearance and the win for a base playstyle and a roll plus. Now that's going to make the card go up a ton in value, but it could make the card move a little bit in value. Like Rios with Benfica today, I think they're playing Ajax. Both teams have not been doing very great, but there's potential for an upgrade there. You've got Chelsea and Barcelona. I would try, if you're going to trade with any of these cards, to stay away from the big games where it's like, who is going to win this? Is it going to be Chelsea? Is it going to be Barca? It's going to be a great game, right? Everybody wants to watch it, but would I buy a 2.3 million coin Lamine Yamal right now? No, I wouldn't, especially because you don't know what's happening with re-releases and stuff like that. But just be on the lookout because that is happening today. Maybe we'll get some other Champions League related content in the game as well. We will have to see. But that's going to be the big Black Friday preparation video done today because we've talked for long enough. But there's so much that is going to happen. We're going to try to break it down each and every single day. If this video helped you out at all, make sure to drop a thumbs up on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Drop your questions down below in the comments. And make sure to comment through on the YouTube or the Twitch stream today. Those links are, of course, down below in the description if you want to check us out there. Guys, I'm excited for Black Friday. I 100% am. I got my best weekend league rewards yesterday. I'm saving those packs. I'm catching up on some gameplay from the weekend that I missed out on. I got to finish the silver thing. We're getting there, man. We're getting there, and we are one day closer to content, hopefully, really bumping back up in this game, and hopefully getting a gameplay patch, too. The rumor was we're getting a gameplay patch, but the only one that they've tweeted about is for Switch, and that's not going to really impact us, I don't think. So, anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you in the stream today. It's been TheFutAccountant. Have a great Tuesday. Peace out.